Hi everyone, I hope you're having a good long weekend or have had a good long weekend depending on when this gets posted. I have taken Friday off work, so I am getting stuck into planting all of our spring bulbs. So I thought I would show you how we are doing that this year. So the bulk of our tulips are going to go in this raised bed. So we're just mowing off the grass as short as we can possibly get it. And then we're going to come through with a layer of topsoil. I'm going to dump in all the tulips, and then we're going to cover it up with compost and water it in well before we cover it up with compost. So that's kind of where our main lot of tulips are going to go. And then after they're done, we're going to fill it with dahlias. So this is what we did last year. So this is the old tulip bed. And then once they were done, yoink the spears out of there and then chuck the dahlias in. So that's worked really well. So yeah, we're going to try that out here again. It's a good idea to not plant your tulips all in the same spot each year. So this is a good way of just keeping that rotation going, and then I can keep expanding the dahlias each year as well. The other way that we're looking to do tulips this year is in crates. So I've got, I think about 12 odd crates. I've just put some wool at the bottom of the crates to help keep all the soil in. And then I'm going to fill it with, I'm going to put a layer of this compost in, put the bulbs in, and then cover it up either with some more compost, or I've got some potting mix as well. Because this compost does not hold moisture very well. So I'm hoping the wool will help sort of counterbalance that. Great, got a bit of compost down, and I'm just going to wet these in really thoroughly, just to help sink the wool down, and then also hydrate that compost because it's a bit dry. And then I've reserved 3 to the side because they're going to be for some daffodils that I am forcing in the tunnel this year. Right, I've just gone through and labelled the crates, and I've decided to grow more tulips and find something else for the daffodils. Hence the 3 label crates on the end. So now I'm going to go through and plant these kind of egg carton style, and go from there. And then I'm going to give them a bit of a soil drench with some trichoderma and some mycorrhizal fungi, which I'm not sure that's going to help or not, but it's expired, so I'm trying to use it up. So I'm going to go after that. Some of the varieties I've got here, so I've got 2 bulb suppliers this year, so Bulbs Direct and Volk Flowers, and Bulbs Direct have kindly pre-chilled a lot of these bulbs as well, which is really, really useful. So I'm favouring planting those ones in the crates because they're going to go in the tunnel, so it means that they'll have probably most of their cooling. And I'm also planting a lot of short varieties as well in the crates because I think the tunnel is going to help elongate their stems. Great, so they're all them laid out. Now we're just going to give them that little trichoderma root dip, and we're going to water them in really, really well. Just because it's hard to get water to them sometimes, and they do need water to grow, and some of them have already started to grow. And then we're going to come through and top it off with compost, and we're racing the light, so better get on with that. Okay, we got the main tulips planted, but it's now really dark, so come inside. But I thought I would take you through the varieties that we've attempting to grow this year. And I was in a rush, so I've just dumped all the packaging in here. So we're just going to do like lucky dip and go through it. Because I always like to know what other people are growing and, you know, what they think. Okay, first one is Sissy. Sissy I grew last year, or CC, I don't know how you say it. I grew that last year, and it's this beautiful single pink, like just like a good solid pink, nice stem length. I really liked it, so I've grown a bunch of that again this year. Okay, what else we got? Foxtrot. That one, I don't think I grew it last year, but I have grown it before. It's beautiful, like it's nice. I like pink and cream, kind of nice looking tulip, but quite short, so I don't know how that's going to go. I had intended to have my chiller up and running by now, because I've just got the chiller box but not the refrigeration, but I'm still waiting for the quote from the electrician to fit out the refrigeration. So I've been chilling half of my tulips in a residential kind of just a fridge basically, but I was struggling with keeping the temperature consistent, and so either it would freeze or it'd be too warm. So I opted with too warm, which I think was the better option. But I think they probably haven't had enough cooling. So that's not good, because you want enough cooling from the tulips to be able to get the stem length. So we'll see. So I've planted half in the crates and half in just outside in the ground, and I think if I get the refrigeration sorted out soon enough, I will bring the crates up and put them in the chiller, and so they can start growing their roots whilst getting the amount of chill requirement that they need, and then I'll take them out and I'll put them in the tunnel when we start to get a bit more further into the season. I think having the diffused light on the with the plastic on the tunnel will help elongate the stems if I can get enough water into them, and if I can keep the temperature down enough, given we're a reasonably warm kind of area. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Next on the list is what do we got here? Oh, that's Sissy again. Yeah, I brought lots of Sissy because we like that. Cabana, which is a parrot tulip, and it's one of my favourite parrots. I think it's mostly white with like a nice pink and a bit of green as well, so it's really, really good. So I've grown lots of that this year too. Can be a little on the short side, but it's like one of the first tulips to bloom, and is usually like good enough, I would say, as long as it gets the chill requirements that it needs. The next one was Purple Valley, which I haven't grown before. I think it's just a purple single, so I'm going to give that a go. Avant-Garde, I have not grown this one before, but I've ordered a couple of hundred of it because I've heard rave reviews from other farmers. It's apparently like the earliest tulip that most people have, so that's good, because I want to get tulips as early as possible this year. And it's just like a nice double like cream, I think. So yeah, so that should be good. So I've grown some. I've got 2 crates worth, which I might do the chilling thing in the cooler when that's up and running, and then bring it down to the tunnel, and then I've got half in the ground. So I'm hoping that between kind of like some of the tunnel tulips and then like in the ground, I'll be able to like elongate that bloom time, or like stagger the bloom time, and also bring some of the bloom time earlier, which is kind of the main goal. But yeah, we'll see. That's more cabana. Yeah, I bought lots of them. Dynasty. So Dynasty I've grown for a number of years now. I quite like it. It's a nice light pink, and it's not but it's not like a really solid pink. So sort of I don't know, like white or cream kind of blended into it. It's quite nice. So I like that. I've gone for quite a few single tulips this year. I know it's tended to be recommended to grow like all the bougie ones. But actually I found like my customers do like some of the bougie ones, but actually equally they quite like just the single tulips. So I've mostly grown singles, so a bit more economical, and then I've got some fancy ones kind of peppered in. This one is called Palmyra. I think that's how, Palmyra, yeah. And that looks to be a dark red double, I think. Like almost black. Sorry if you can hear the tractor going past, it's Matt putting it away. I've not grown it before, but heard rave reviews about it, so that's why I'm giving it a go this year. Icon is a orange double, and I have grown it before, and I wasn't overly fussed about it because I found the heads got really heavy and the stems couldn't support them, so they just kind of like went like this. But I keep hearing on like various podcasts how much people love Icon, so I'm giving it another go. Rococo is one I have grown before, and it's a really beautiful dark red parrot, so I really like that one. I'm concerned it's going to be short, and this is always my concern with growing some of the doubles or some of the parrots even. They just can be a bit short if they don't get enough water, if they don't get enough cool hours, which is a risk in our area. So anyway, hopefully it'll go well. And that is one of my crate trial tulips as well. Negligee is also a fancy tulip. Getting all the fancy ones up, just saying I've got a lot of singles, but anyway, this is like a fringed like pink and white tulip. Barcelona up next. Barcelona is a nice dark pink, I think you call it. This was like the latest tulip that I had on the farm last year, like really late, but a good solid single beautiful stem length, like really like that one. So I'm hoping that will be good again this year, like it came through in with like the main flush of ranunculus, so it was nice to be able to like mix them up. Powerball is one I haven't grown and probably will never grow again because apparently you can't get it anymore. So that's just a little experiment. It's a late parrot. I don't even know what colour it is. It's just like, I think that's the reason why it's called Powerball. It's just like a whole bunch of different colours. So fun little experiment. Ivanka is a single pink, which looked nice, and I like single pink tulips, so got a bunch of that. Haven't grown it before, so yeah, hopefully it's good. What else we got? Saigon double, that's a dark purple double. I like it. Good stem length, not too short. Yeah, it's good, solid. Towards the end of the later end of the season, so good to kind of pad things out a little bit. This one's called Renegade, which I think is a single red, and I don't really like a lot of red, especially in spring. Like spring doesn't feel like a red kind of a season, but anyway, I know that some of my customers like red and other bright colours, so I am branching out and trying things other than pink and white. So that I bought specifically for my customers. This one is called San Clemente, I think is how you pronounce that, and it is a dark purple fringe tulip, which I'm not sure if I've grown it before or not. I've heard people like it. It looks like it could be one of those short ones. So I've only just got 50. And I think there was only a limit of 50 that you could buy. massive bulbs, like massive bulbs. So I just wonder if they are maybe like a better grade or something, or whether they just come like that. So anyway, we might get some like giant tulips out of that. So anyway, we'll see. Super Parrot is the next one. That's like a white and a green. I think I've grown it before, but I can't remember. I didn't grow it last year or the year before that, so bringing that back in the rotation because I think it is a different bloom time to Cabana, which I think is probably the most similar. I think Super Parrot's meant to be like a more mid to late, whereas the Cabana is like one of the earlier ones. So I'm hoping just to be able to kind of spread out that look throughout the tulip season. This one's called Hakun, which is a white single mid-season, I think. I've not grown it before, but it seemed like a good choice. I've been growing another white for the last couple of years called Antarctica, I think. And it's kind of been more of like a yellowy, like cream, like a cream. And this seems to be like a really pristine white. So I'm hoping that will go well with some of the clearer colours that I'm growing. So we'll see. Crown of Dynasty. So this is the, I think it's called a coronet. The one with the little funky top on it. Version of just the Dynasty tulip. So it's pink and white. And it starts off really like pastel-y, and then it goes to like quite bright pink. So yeah, it's nice. It starts off as pastel and then kind of like moves into a bit more of a bright colour. One of those like tulips that kind of keeps your interest as it sort of develops through the vase, which I quite like. This next one is called Symphony, and I think that is another single pink. So I've not grown it before, but it sounded good, and yeah, I like a single pink, so I'm doing that. And then I've got another couple of singles. One's called Triple A. I've not grown that before. I think it's orange, but maybe like a little more of a red orange with perhaps, I think if I recall correctly, it had a little bit of yellow maybe edging to it. I don't know. Sounded good. Thought it would give a bit of variety, and then I think it's meant to time up potentially with the single red that I've purchased, so that might kind of make a nice bouquet. And then Adrem, which is a nice orange single, which is a mid-season. So I've been growing that for the last couple of years. I really like it. And then the last one is Marvel Parrot. Marvel Parrot is one of the first tulips to bloom for me. It's like an amazing, like hot pink parrot. It's very, very cool. I like it. But my crop of it last year was not very good compared to the previous year. So I don't know what that's about. It can tend to be on the short side, so yeah, maybe it didn't get enough water, maybe there's just the bulb wasn't as good, I don't know. So anyway, we're trying it again. I've tried half in the crate, half outside, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so that's all of the tulips that I'm growing this year. I don't know how many varieties that is, but I'm basically growing a very similar amount to last year, plus maybe an extra 300 or something. I was considering scaling back my tulips because I struggled to sell them last year because we had a few like hot pockets in the tulip season and I didn't have a chiller. And so then you just sort of like running around hair on fire trying to harvest them in time and then have customers to sell. So I ended up having to do like a couple of like 2-for-1 kind of sales, which you don't really want to be doing on tulips because they're a high input crop. So yeah, we will see how we get on this year with the chiller, which I think will just be a heck of a lot better, just being able to you know, just give yourself a couple of extra days breathing room. But yeah, so that should be good. And then, yeah, we'll assess how the season goes and how the sales go, and yeah, what we'll do next year. But yeah, I'm hopeful that things will be a bit more brighter in the spring. So we'll see. But yeah, so that's all the varieties. Tomorrow I'll just take you down and show you what the finished planting looks like, and yeah, I think we'll probably call it here for this video. If you have any questions about growing tulips, let me know. I've been growing them for a few years now in kind of a semi-marginal climate. We can grow them, but I do find doing like the pre-cooling is a good idea. So yeah, that's what we're growing. Okay, I just listened back to some of the footage to check the audio, and I'm sorry for all of the rustling. I'm wearing my AirPods, and I thought that would just cut out some of the background noise, and apparently it doesn't. So anyway, sorry about that. And then also I'm on a swivelly chair, which I can't get it to make noise. Anyway, it makes a lot of noise, so sorry about that. I'll work on that for next time. Also, before I forget, a couple of things around how we planted the tulips tonight. So in the crates, we did a very deliberate like egg carton spacing, very deliberately kind of placed those, and that's just because it was in a crate, and that's kind of the easiest thing I think to do, to make sure you've kind of got adequate spacing between the bulbs. In the field, we've just sort of dumped the tulips and then swished them around a little bit, and believe it or not, they grow absolutely fine doing it this way. I did it last year because I just had completely run out of time, so I didn't have time to do anything else, and they were perfect. They grew really well. We didn't have a heck of a lot of loss or anything like that, so works really well. Only caveat to that is if you want to store your tulips with the bulb on, or you want to sell them with the bulb on, I wouldn't do the dump and swish around method, because sometimes what will happen is they'll grow up, they'll flower, that's all good, you'll pull the stem, but you end up with this sort of potentially a bit of a hockey stick looking bottom of the tulip, so you will need to cut the bulb off, otherwise it'll look a bit strange, I think, which is fine by me. So I harvest, snip the bulb off, and then I store in water and sell them like that. So works fine for me, but if you want to sell bulb on or store them with the bulb on, you may prefer to deliberately space the tulips out. But for me, this works perfectly. So that is my primary way of growing them now. Yeah, and then also I realised I probably didn't explain a little bit about the trichoderma dip that I use on pretty much everything. I actually have another product called Superzyme, which has got, I think it's like a lactobacillus and sort of other sort of bacterias, good bacteria, and this trichoderma fungi. The trichoderma acts as kind of like a root shield. So if you can inoculate your plants with it before they go into the ground, and in this case bulbs, the idea is that they kind of colonize the bulb or the root system, and then they kind of ward off other pathogens, or I think they actually eat the other pathogens. I'm not sure, I'm not a scientist, but anyway, that's in theory how it works. So I don't know, but I'm hoping it would help protect against tulip fire, which I think is a type of botrytis, which is really devastating to tulips. If you've ever had it before, it's not good. So yeah, I'm hoping that will help kind of mitigate against that, and I've got like lots and lots and lots of this trichoderma, so I just use it on everything. So yeah, so that's what that's about. Okay, so this is the final product. Got the tulips in, so I'm just going to come through and give them a really good water, and damp that compost down, and then in a couple months we should have tulips. Just finishing off the crate grown tulips, so they're planted, got a bit of compost on top, and then I'm going to come through with this potting mix, just because it's a bit more or less hydrophobic. Like this compost is not very good at rehydrating, so yeah, that will be us. We've got 12 crates, and about 10 metres worth of tulips this year. Cool, so that's going to do it for this video. If you have any questions about growing tulips for cut flowers, just drop them in the comments. I'll be happy to help out. Thanks for coming along, and I'll see you next time.